So, I wanted to talk about one of what I would argue to be the most important insights that I've gained in therapy. And what I think is so interesting about this insight is the capacity that it has to expand a human being's view of people in general, and how people are, right? So, the way that I want to approach this is that this really comes down to a standpoint of neutrality. And neutrality, especially in this regard, I would argue is kind of like hard to sit with. You know, when it comes to society, when it comes to people, um, I think that we're very used to kind of like categorizing people and like looking at people and being like, these people are good, those people are bad, or, people are either going to be good or bad. And what's interesting is that this is usually from a standpoint of behaviors, right? However, people are not their behaviors. So therefore, they really can't be good or bad. They just are the way that they are. That's their nature. And that's exactly what this is about, right? So when it comes to, you know, what and how people are, it really comes down to that, the nature of what a person is. But also, in this regard, the capacity to see people for who they are and what they are and let it be as it is, as they are. Um, and really, like, looking at it from the standpoint of this person or that person or these people are neither good nor bad. It's just the way that they are. And when I started really sitting with this, because like I have looked at people, I have felt things towards people, like sincere dislike and everything, because like I see how they are, right, their nature and everything. And so with that, comes a bunch of mental narratives about the category that this person sits, that my mind decides to place them in, all of that stuff. And it's just so interesting because when you can come at it from a standpoint of neutrality and like not categorize this or that person as good or bad, just being the way that they are, I think that we get so sucked into emotions and how we feel about people that it's just so easy to be like, that person's good, that person's bad, this, that, and the other. But usually this is coming from a standpoint of behaviors, and we are not our behaviors because behaviors are changeable. If you look at somebody who, is a criminal, right? That's based in behavior. That behavior is changeable. That person could become a good or decent person just based on changing their behavior. And so, in terms of like how I've been looking at like my own healing and everything, and the things that people have done in my life that have negatively affected me and everything, looking at it from a standpoint of somebody neither being good nor bad, it's actually much more easy to process things because it's like you know, is there evil out there? Yeah, there are people out there doing terrible things, but this is based in behavior. And considering behavior is changeable, it can completely change the narrative of how this stuff plays out in people's minds. And that just changes everything. So this capacity, this insight to see people from a standpoint of not good or bad, but just the way that they are. And then the question you ask yourself is, okay, well, based on the way that they are, do you want that in your life? And then just going about it that way, you could look at it like, okay, well, no, I would never associate my person, I would never associate myself with that person based on this, that, and the other. But when you really approach it from that standpoint, it changes the dynamics of everything. It doesn't create mind narratives where you're just like pointing the finger at this person, labeling them as good or bad. It's just the way that they are. And then looking at the way that they are, you get to choose whether or not you want to have that influence in your life. And that's really cool and powerful. It literally changes everything. So, yeah, this is one of the most valuable insights I've gained in therapy. And also, not just that, but neutrality in the sense of not trying to pull people out of themselves, just letting them be who they're going to be, and that's all. You know, it's just this whole foundation of neutrality that I really appreciate. But yeah, people are neither good nor bad. They are just based on their behaviors, and their behaviors are changeable. So the question to ask the self is, okay, well, do you want that in your life? If not, then move on. But you don't have to proceed with just, saying that these people are good or that they're bad.